Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to Bet Online today and don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, the game starts here. Bet.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
The favorite to land the Saints job all week has been Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. It now feels like that's becoming more of a reality. The NFL Network is reporting that Mickey Loomis has informed other candidates that they plan to continue discussions with Moore about the job after the Super Bowl. The report also says Loomis is telling others no final decision has been made just yet. The three other candidates are Saints interim head coach Jan Rizzi, Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, and Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. Moore was the last of all those candidates to interview in person and will be the only one to interview for a third time. By the way, if it's more like it's expected to be, it can't become official until after the Super Bowl because he is coaching in the Super Bowl for the Eagles. Moore played at Boise State from 2007 to 2011. He is the winningest quarterback in college football history with a 50-3 record after college. He was a backup QB for the Lions and Cowboys from 2012 to 2017. He then became the Cowboys quarterbacks coach in 2018, then elevated to the offensive coordinator from 2019 to 2022. After the Cowboys let him go, he became the Chargers OC. And this year, he was the Eagles offensive coordinator. Moore would become the youngest head coach in the NFL at 36 years old. He would be the youngest coach in Saints history. Travers?
All right. Shout out, man. And Grand Rising, good morning to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to y'all and salute to the great Saint Think Tank and the entire Who Dat Nation. We start off Saturday's broadcast, man, a AM broadcast for the fam, man. And right now, it's kind of dialed in who the Saints want to be the next head coach. You know, you can see by some of the body language of some of the reporters. A lot of people ain't surprised by it, but it is what it is, man, at this point, man. But it's very interesting, man. But it's an offensive guy, offensive minded. We do need that on that side of the ball. And we'll see how it all ferrets out. It's Slick Mickey picking this person. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Do me a service. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Shout out to everybody. My boy Scoob, shout out to you, bro. I see you. Young City, Snakebite, Kathleen, shout out to you. Timer Network, I see you. OG Jerry, that's right. The February is here, man. We end of February. That's right, OG. All right, yeah. All right, what's up, E. Kelly? What's happening, my man? Shout out to you. Be Kind is in this thing as well. Big ups to everybody, man. Black Major, I see you, fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream as well. Big Velly, is in this thing as well. What's up? All right, and listen, they could simply do offensive minded coach, young offensive coach, to come in and kind of fix whatever the issues are with the New Orleans Saints, which we know they are offensively. They're not very good offensively, despite all the talented players that we have. If the scheme is not what it's supposed to be, and the offensive line needs some help, we need to get that together. So as Mr. Kellen Moore is going to be that next guy. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. And I'm gonna get some thought process from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you like the Kellen Moore thing? Anyway, let's move to this article, man. Here is from NFL Room News, and this is sourced from this interview with Diana Rossini. This is the interview from her where she kind of covers this. She kind of speaks about what she would term scuttlebutt about the Saints, some hesitancy about Kellen Moore and with the Saints because of the perceived QB situation. Derek Carr is not seen as the guy that was a Dennis Allen pick. So with a new head coach, he's not going to want to hitch his wagon to Derek Carr. So eventually, what happens there? So we'll see what that is, man. Are they desperate enough to kind of push Carr aside, call for the tow truck to get him on out of here, send him packing somewhere? Time will tell. All right, but anyway, let's listen to what she had to say about it. Here we go.
Trying to sort out this head coaching thing. Kellen Moore appears to be the one that they've got their eye on. They met. I was told that the meeting went really well.
Me too.
But from what I understand, none of the other candidates have been informed that they're not in. So,
all the other candidates, though, what other candidates?
There were a few.
That's my issue.
Mike Kafka interviewed for it.
Yeah.
Anthony Weaver interviewed for it. Joe Brady.
But Mike Kafka can sign right now. Anthony Weaver can sign right now.
True.
So isn't all signs pointing to Kellen? Like where
yeah.
do they go if Kellen doesn't take the job?
He ain't lying.
That's kind of what I was thinking of. Well, first of all, they can't hire Kellen Moore until after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
So they've got to sit here and just wait for this game to end. So
what if Kellen changes his mind, though?
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, boy!
Scuttlebutt. I hate that word.
I actually like that word. Say it again.
You like scuttlebutt? Little chit chat about whether or not, if Kellen would want this job, and it's due to the fact that they don't have a quarterback already there in place. That was concerning. But that being said, I do think he's come around on it from what I was hearing of just, all right, maybe this is the right spot for me. So look, I think
that's a very broad statement. What do you mean come around? Like first of all, they have Derek Carr under contract.
They do, but they met. But there's also an
team.
understanding throughout the league that the New Orleans Saints need another year to rebuild this thing. They need another. They're at cap hell,
Yep.
And they're comfortable understanding that. Like they know their limitations. They're not expecting Kellen Moore to come in here, let's just say, and get the job and turn this whole thing around, winning. Like they know it's good. They need someone that's going to be patient with them. And
your thought around the league, was it the worst head coach opening job this year?
From me?
No.
Okay. It's just taking the longest to fill.
Raiders was the one that I wasn't getting a lot of.
That's good intel. I like that intel.
Excellence. Yeah, I had a couple coaches rank them all top to bottom for me because I was like, give me, if you could have your pick.
What was the consensus one?
New England Patriots. Wasn't even close.
What?
Wasn't even close.
I mean, look, we got Jeremy on the show. I like them.
All right, well, that's enough of that. But listen, this is the issue that they're talking about in terms of what that's happening with Kellen Moore, and the understanding, like they were saying, is that the Saints are definitely in cap hell. That's not how Mickey Loomis tells it. That's not how he tells it. He stated this is an attractive job. He's uncomfortably comfortable. Whatever the hell that means. He's overly patient, which is bull crap. And that simply was not the case. It wasn't, family. It wasn't the case. From what he was saying, everything was fine. That the Saints were ready to compete right now. But what she's saying is totally different, even though what she's saying is the truth and what they say are lies. So I mean, it's you're in cap hell right now. We expect you to kind of, it'll be a little bit tough right now. Man, come on. But in the end, yeah, Kellen Moore comes in and it like we saying, and Chase makes a great point about what need, that those other guys can sign right now, which is a very good clue that the fact that they are not the one. They're not Neo in this matrix, it's Kellen Moore. They have their sights fixated on Kellen Moore. Not they, but it's only one fool. That's Mickey Loomis. So his sights are squarely focused on Kellen Moore to be the next head coach of the Saints. And I actually think, like I said, I wanted an offensive minded coach. In part, I got my wish. He's a young guy, very inexperienced in terms of, he has the youth. It is the opposite of what we had previously, which is a older coach that was a retread kind of guy that was a coach before. He's not going to do anything new. He's not inventive. He's a snake. Kellen Moore has the reputation as a quarterback, one of the winningest quarterbacks in college history, the winningest. So he comes from a football background in terms of his family. He had opportunities he kind of went up the ranks with different teams, Dallas, the Chargers, now the Eagles. How good is Kellen Moore, man? Overall, seems to be a very decent offensive mind. And the truth is what happens here, like going forward, if Kellen Moore is indeed the guy, what does that mean in terms of the Saints? Because the first thing he's going to look at is that offense. And the first thing you look at top of the offense is the quarterback. So, and I've been saying it for a while, the Saints restructured him last year, and I don't think they should restructure him this year because that'll tie them to him next year. So if restructure is not an option and he doesn't want to, and he's already said he's not taking the pay cut, you would have to trade him. So and the thing is, like she was saying, the hesitancy about the Saints situation because they don't have a QB. So where would the QB come from? If it's not Carr, who's the QB, family? Who would y'all name as the QB? You see what I'm saying? Now, there are different ways that we can find who to be the quarterback. Is it Spencer? Would Spencer get an opportunity? Or perhaps, like we've seen from a historical standpoint, that the Saints have basically the last couple of years, we've had new offensive coordinators, and each one has drafted a quarterback. Pete Carmichael drafted Jake Hayner. Kubiak drafted Spencer Rattler. So a new coach means perhaps a new quarterback. Does he draft the guy? The Saints sit at 9. Do they get aggressive and move up and see if they try to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks? Even though, I've been reading the reports about Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss darting up the boards. So that's very interesting. How do y'all guys feel about that? Do they go up and get one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in this draft? Now, it's only seen like a top 2 first-round draft picks here. Now, they do have some decent quarterbacks. I like the kid from Syracuse. He could play. He just doesn't have, some of the flash that you see some of the top guys have, the name and what they've done. But the Syracuse quarterback is actually a pretty decent quarterback. Jackson Dart, very familiar with Jackson Dart out of the SEC. When we played him, he's a numbers guy. I mean, he's athletic. He can throw the ball. He's a danger. He's a pass and run danger. So he's interesting. But like I said, man, who's the guy? Do you trade for a guy? And I'm thinking like if it hit me like the other day, it was like with Aaron Glenn taking over that Jets job. Does he then draft a quarterback, or does he reach back to his Detroit roots and say, hey, man, let me get my backup quarterback there and bring him here? What do you want for him? Or do the Saints say, let's go Fields from Pitt, or they go somewhere else? You see, so it's an open type of situation for the family members, man. Decide on it for the Saints to decide on where they're going to go. But all indications are it's strictly the fact that to be honest with you, family, the New Orleans Saints could be done with Derek Carr. And listen, man, you know, and the reality is, whoever the quarterback is going to be, you're going to need to have a strong line, and our line just simply wasn't there. Our backups was subpar. Um, it wasn't what was hitting for. But the interesting thing is, like, what your minuses are. How do you then fill the minuses? Because you don't have any money, and if you annual the biggest annual hit that you will have in terms of dollars is Derek Carr's contract. But if that's indeed the case, and you don't want to restructure him because he'll tie him to next year, then what do you do with the guy? You see what I'm saying? The easy thing for Mickey Loomis, hey, hold on now, let's just restructure everything. Let's just we'll kick the money, kick the can. We just got 2 more years to kick the can before everything opens up. And that's the point. The point is he understands this year, in 2026, and then when 2027 hits, all that money comes back. But you got to get there. And in the meanwhile, I don't think the Saints, the matter of fact, I know the Who Dat Nation, the great Saint think tank, are not going to be patient with this process. And neither should they be. Neither should they be. These guys don't take any accountability for none of the failure. I don't want to hear DeMario with that fake talk stuff, man. I'm sorry, brother. This is football here. And faith without works is dead, brother. I don't want to hear all of that. I don't want to hear you justifying failure. There is no way around that. There is no excuses for any of this stuff. And we shouldn't be patient about none of this stuff. We shouldn't be. None of this makes any sense. The truth is, they should clear out all of these old players. That's the truth. Fam, listen. And I said this, and I'm going to say it again. The only reason you keep old players is if you are competitive. You're either winning the NFC South or you competing with the guy that won the NFC South. Anything less than that is get these guys out of here. And listen, I like Tyron. I like all these other guys, but this is business. This is business at the end of the day. Likes don't have nothing to do with it. All that matters is, does it make sense? Oh, it doesn't make sense. I like DeMario. I like Tyrann Mathieu. I like Cam Jordan. But hey, man, y'all are not winning together. Let's disband this and do whatever we can to get these contracts off the books and try to speed this thing up. You see? Because the old contracts are sucking up money so that we can't even sign a Chase Young if we wanted to, or a Paulson Adebo. I'm talking about players with 3 to 4 years of production versus older players that's headed on out the door. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, I like those guys, but likes don't have nothing to do with it. This is business. And at the end of the day, it's a limited amount of money that we're working with. And if these old players are not putting us in a position to be competitive insofar as being the NFC South a winner or competing with the one at the top, they need to go. They need to get the hell out of here. I'm sorry. We done compensated you. We done treated you fairly, but now it's time for you to go because you are not winning. You're only justified if you're winning. If you're not winning, you get the hell out of here. I'm sorry. It's taking up time, and we done wasted. Mickey Loomis sit there and he wasted this whole time and sat up here and said that the real reason why the Saints failed was injuries. And Kellen Moore looking at it and saying it ain't injuries. Because if he felt that way, he would like, man, y'all know I got to get there. Now, of course, he can't sign to after the fact, but like I said, a lot of the people that were lined up for the job, listen, fam, y'all know and I know that Kellen Moore was one that fell to them, right? He was the best of the rest, whether the worst of the rest. No disrespect, but I'm saying the Saints wasn't looking at Kellen Moore. They were looking at Aaron Glenn until he told them what he told them. Now he being Mickey Loomis could have said, you know what? Let me bring Kai in here. You know what, Kai? You're the man for the general manager job. It's not like Mickey doesn't have another job. He's the VP. Why you need the GM too? What's up with that? Why did this guy gotta have both the jobs like that? Why does he have to have 2 titles? Why can't he be just the VP and somebody else be the GM? That's all the man wanted. He's like, you know what? Okay, you got it. No, never mind that. No, I'm keeping it. What? Putting himself over the team. We could haggle him. That started. When he did that, then look what happened with Clint. What's his name? Cliff Kingsbury. He wanted the shot. He said, I'm good. Joe Brady, I'm good. What was the other one? It was a fourth one that turned to McCarthy, who wanted to get back in the game, took a good look at the Saints and says, I'm good. I'm good. And I thought this is one of what, 32 jobs that only 32 people in the world could have, and they saying I'm good in recession. So what I'm saying is, in the end, Kellen Moore is no fool. He's not stupid. He knows, looking at the Saints situation, he's saying, man, they don't have I don't want to work with Derek Carr. I want a quarterback, because that's what it needs. You need a good quarterback to win in this league. We got to fix that. Okay, simple enough. Then how are you $53 million in the red? How do we fix it with no money? That means when they said they're going to be patient with the fact, because they understand that they will have to draft younger players and develop those young players to help them win. And you know what happens when you do that? A lot of mistakes are going to be made. It's what we've seen with Carolina. It's what we've seen with even Atlanta to a degree. But the problem is, if you're Mickey Loomis, he can afford to be overly patient, but not us. Because the reality is, as stupid as he is, you have to still realize that at the end of the day, both Carolina and Atlanta have went through a bit of a youth situation. Carolina suffered. They're coming into the 3rd year of their proposed rebuild, and they are on top of you in the NFC South. You're in the cellar. So, how, if you as because let's just get it straight, the guy, the top visionary of the Saints is Mickey Loomis. If Mickey Loomis isn't seeing that, then what is he seeing? What is he seeing? How could he justify all these bad contracts to the team sit up here with 5 wins? How could he justify it? He can't. So now all of the insiders are telling you stuff that we told you for a while now. And people say, oh man, Q, you be hard on the Saints. I'm not hard on the Saints. I'm telling truth. I've been saying this for a while about what's going on. It's because it's not hard to read. It's very hard to read. I've been telling y'all about Mickey Loomis, that he's not a real general manager, because he don't do stuff general managers do. He don't do evaluations. He didn't even have the evaluations at the end of the season. He never has. He gets fleeced in trades. He's more VP than GM, but doesn't want to give up the GM title. He's a major issue why the Saints are like in this situation. I didn't F up the cap. He did. Because he sold the future for the present, and then the game backfired where they fell out, and the floor opened up and they fell through it. And now you don't want to take none of the blame for the bull crap that he did with this salary cap. That's facts. So in the end, man, we will see how it all goes. But y'all heard Saints want Kellen Moore. But the reality is, Kellen Moore is not a fool. He's looking at the Saints saying, man, we need a quarterback here. Because you got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed coming back off an injury. Alvin Kamara is one of the game's better guys. You still need a tight end. I don't think Jawan Johnson is coming back. The Saints maybe need to want to find somebody there. There you need some more offensive linemen there. I mean, if Will Campbell falls to you, I've been saying this for a while. If Will Campbell falls to you at 9, take him. You need some help on that offensive line, whoever the quarterback is going to be. Hell, if Will Campbell or the big Banks Jr., if he fell to us at 9 and we can get one of the top 2 tackles in the game, man, I'm taking that guy. I'm taking him and I'm putting him on the end and moving Penning inside. I'm sorry. I got to get it going, because next year is going to be Penning's 4th year. And he really hadn't played that much. So they really kind of messed up his development. But if Will Campbell or your boy from whatchamacallit falls, and our 2 top tackles fall, that man, I'm taking them guys, man. I'm taking them because I need to build that line. If if those guys are gone and the tight end from Penn State is there, man, listen, I'm taking that guy. Because whoever you have, you still gonna need a tight end as a security blanket for whoever the quarterback that Kellen Moore is going to choose if it's Kellen Moore. So they need stuff. That's why they went and sent the draft Marshawn Lattimore to Washington to try to get as many draft picks as they possibly can. And will they be players in the draft? It depends on what Kellen Moore sees the Saints need. The biggest need, a lot of people say it's the quarterback because you can't win without a quarterback. But our offensive line, man, is not as good as we think it is. I'm very concerned about McCoy's constant injuries that happened over the last couple of years. He constantly getting hurt. You can't rely on him like he used to. We have to pay attention to that because that's a sign he might be breaking down. It happens. The left guard position is a joke. It's a backup guy right there now. Nick Seldaveri couldn't be counted on. It's the second year that he's been here, going into the third year, and he hasn't been able to stay on the field. That's a problem. Trevor Penning is underdeveloped. That's a problem. Tolly looks excellent, and Cesar Ruiz is not ever going to be better than what he is. He's fundamentally flawed at times. He doesn't know what he's doing sometimes, and that's not just him. The whole damn line at times, if you was watching toward the back of the year, they were confused, and that was coaching. So whoever the offensive line coach is, they got to do something. So when he comes in here bringing offensive staff that's serious about running the football and getting these guys up and making them understand what they need to do, because a lot of that didn't look right in the middle to the late end of the year. And our offensive line backups suck. Ali, you don't need to be put in the street. Landon Young don't need to come back here. We need to find some more guys that could play, man. And then there are other things, but just exclusively talking about the offense. Anyway, man, that was some of the stuff that they talked about. If Kellen Moore is indeed the person, family, who would be some of his assistant coaches that will come in and help? Well, John Sigler did a wonderful job. Actually, Jeremy Trotter from Saints Wire did a wonderful job of kind of putting us in the mind on who some of these assistants that Kellen Moore could possibly get, right? Who could be these guys? All right, well, let's take a look at it. The Saints head coaching job has an odds-on favorite in Philly Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore at the moment. With that said, the Saints have begun clearing house for an influx of coaching assistants around whoever the new head coach may be. With these two notions in mind, it's time to begin looking at who Moore may be able to snag from his previous positions to come along with him and help put together a formidable staff. And without further ado, let's start with the top dude. Now, I remember Doug Nussmeier, his son Garrett plays for LSU. And he's a good quarterback, man. He got his flaws and stuff like that, but Nussmeier is a solid quarterback. But this is the thing. It's definitely going to be an influx of coaches coming here because several Saints assistants have already left. You know, Kubiak has already taken a job as the Seattle OC. He's already calling out to the Saints, and the Saints have granted permission for them to interview Andrew Janockel, probably for the QB the QB coach position there. So they're like, Kubiak gets a job. Andrew, hey, man, when I get this job, hey, man, you got a job too. And that's cool. That's pretty cool. But, you know, they want Andrew Janockel to follow him to Seattle, which is probably what's going to end up happening. We hear the running backs coach, Coach Foster, is being looked at by the Dallas Cowboys for the running back coach position. We know that our linebackers coach, Coach Hodges, has left to become the linebackers coach for Cincinnati. You know, you had Coach Possum, he left. He's the Bears defensive coach now. Defensive coordinator now. So you will have some of these guys that probably won't come back, and probably Joe Woods is going to go to Chicago too sooner or later because Dennis Allen probably going to bring Joe Woods with him to be the secondary coach or whatever. He probably be the secondary coach for the Bears if they have already named him, because more than likely, if you're the coordinator, you call your own shots on defense. So Joe Woods more than likely is going to follow him up there too. So you have guys here or there. And I wouldn't be surprised when Kellen Moore comes in. He keeps one or two guys that he might like, who knows, or he might just clean the floor. But that is what you get when you win 5 games. There is no job security for you. This is a competitive landscape, and like it or not, you have to win. And if you don't, you got to go, because people don't like paying for losers. Just ask the Pelicans. I'm a Pelicans guy, by the way. We don't like paying for losers. I don't care. We don't like it because it's our hard-earned money, and we don't want to see you stink. So do it the right way. You get me? Anyway, here go a few of the guys. Eagles quarterbacks coach Doug Nussmeier, right? Nussmeier has been the right-hand man to Kellen Moore for quite a while now, similar to what the Saints previously had with Kubiak and Janoku. Nussmeier is currently the quarterbacks coach with the Eagles, but was previously in charge with the Chargers and the Cowboys at the same time. Moore was there as well. If there's any one coach that would be a near guarantee to join Moore on the team, it would be Nussmeier. If you want to get really interested with things, Nussmeier is the father of LSU Tigers quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, and maybe the Saints have their new quarterback of the future in 2026 draft class. No. I like Garrett Nussmeier, but no, please. No, we don't want him as a quarterback. He got a strong arm, and I like how he plays, but he makes way too many mistakes for my liking. But outside of that, man, and plus, isn't Arch coming out next year? I don't know. I think Arch might stay. I don't know. Arch is the guy. That would be cool. If Arch comes out and the Saints are in position, or they trade up or whatever the case may be, and go and get Arch Manning, that would be fire. That way, so you'll have him here. That would be good. That would be fire. That would be awesome. And I think Doug Nussmeier was drafted by the Saints. So you see how things come full circle with the Saints. See, the article doesn't say that, but Doug Nussmeier, I think he was drafted by the Saints. If I'm hold on, let me do a little research right here, fam. Y'all help me out in the chat, because we're in a great Saint think tank. We have to remember some of this. But Doug Nussmeier was a quarterback that was drafted by the Saints many moons ago. Let me see if I can pull that up. I want to say he was drafted by the Saints a long time ago. I want to say that. Let me do a little research right quick. I want to say he was. Yep, in 1994. Yeah. Yep, you see how shit come back full? So let me put the article on there for y'all. Look at this. And I'm going to go back to that momentarily. Here it is right here. Where are they now? 1994 New Orleans Saints draft pick Doug Nussmeier. And now he's about to come back here possibly to be the OC. Former Saints quarterback Doug Nussmeier will be making a homecoming appearance at the Caesars Superdome in November. But he has his way. He'll be leaving the Saints with a lost draft. And this is a story that was done April of last year. Drafted by the Saints 30 years ago, Nussmeier will return as the first-year quarterbacks coach of the Eagles. The journeyman assistant coach was hired early this year, along with offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, to reignite the Eagles team that closed 23 season with a whimper. Won't be the first time he dropped such that. He was drafted in the 4th round with the 116th pick. He was the 4th quarterback taken after such notables as Heath Shuler and Trent Dilfer. Stuck behind Jim Everett, he played 5 games with 2 starts, was 46 of 82 for 455, 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. So there you go. A native of Portland, Oregon. He had a prolific career at the University of Idaho. He set records for touchdown passes, passing efficiency, completion percentage, and total offense. So there you go, family. Yeah. It's Dougie Nussmeier, man. He was notable coaching stops, offense coordinator at Washington, blah, 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 blah. But Dougie Nussmeier, man, was a Saints quarterback draft. He wasn't very good either. I remember Nussmeier. He wasn't good at all. I guess it wasn't his calling, All right, so anyway, going back here to Nussmeier, I just wanted to drop that, 49ers assistant head coach, defensive assistant Brandon Staley. Now, Brandon Staley gave Kellen Moore a job as the offensive coordinator when he was the head coach of the Chargers. Now, he got canned. Could this be coming back around? Could he be like, hey, man, come on. Could this be your new defensive coordinator? Could Brandon Staley be your defensive coordinator? Let's get into another coach who may be considered is Brandon Staley, who, according to recent reports, may not be on the San Francisco's 49ers staff under the new defensive coordinator, the new old defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh, went back home. He says, but Staley is one of the few internal candidates for a potential defensive coordinator with the Niners. However, Saleh took the job from outside, from outside the team instead. Whether Staley would be a defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, or a defensive assistant with the Saints, the connection is there with Moore from Los Angeles Chargers. When it comes down to it, he has a good defensive mind, and it's just someone you would prefer not to be the head coach, much like Dennis Allen. So there you go. Is this your new defensive coordinator? It's a really good article. Shout out to the writer, man, because is the NFL is a game of connections and all that like. So could Brandon Staley be your defensive coordinator? We'll see. What else he got? Eagles assistant head coach and passing game coordinator Kevin Patullo. Another coach, Moore, may be able to poach his assistant head coach and pass game coordinator of the Eagles, Kevin Patullo. Patullo may be one of the guys you consider for a promotion to offensive coordinator if Moore is looking for a connection. He already has that position. He has been a pass game coordinator with the Eagles since 21, and he held the same position with the Colts in 2020 as well. He has the opportunity to work for 6 NFL teams since 07. He has been quality at his job in all instances. Is this the new offensive coordinator? Kellen Moore, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, Brandon Staley is the defensive coach. Could this be? These are very, very good calls here. Very good calls. Former Cowboy assistant defensive coach Leon Let It Be. Y'all remember that Leon Lett is one of the really interesting guys who've has coached with Moore previously as they've crossed over during their stints with Dallas. Lett was fired back in 2022 after 11 seasons as the Cowboy assistant defensive line coach. And despite this, would bring immense experience, both his playing and coaching career. This type of player coach combo always brings some fire into their respective position rooms. Or if Lett would be willing to take the spot, him working alongside Brian Young would be really good for the defensive room. Indeed, Leon Let It Be. Oh, Brian Young. Some of the coaches I do hope stick around for the Saints. It would be tight ends coach Clancy Barone. Really like Coach Clancy Barone. Hope he stays around with the Saints. I like you talked about Brian Young, who was the passing game he was the pass rush specialist, and then he became the defensive line coach when they got rid of Dennis Allen. That was one of the promotions that happened. So that I like that. And then of course, like Coach Hodges is already gone, but Brian Young and Clancy Barone are very interesting. Wide receiver Coach Williams is another guy there that we like a lot. So hopefully some of these guys can stick and stay. We'll see. Linebackers coach Scott McCorley. All right, with former Saints linebacker coach Mike Hodges leaving for the Cincinnati job recently, they will need to find a replacement for that spot as well. One candidate to replace him would be Scott McCorley, who was a longtime Green Bay Packers assistant before taking a linebackers coaching job with the Cowboys in 2020. With 3 seasons of overlap with Kellen Moore in Dallas, he would be someone Moore looks to poach off their staff for the Saints. Linebackers coach Scott McCorley. So it's very interesting calls. Eagles run game coordinator, offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland. This is a little bit of a pipe dream as the Eagles have held on to Stoutland since 2013, but adding him to the mix would be enormous for the Saints. Retaining Jari Evans, shout out to Jari Evans. I forgot to mention him as well. In his role with the offensive line, and bringing in Stoutland to work with him would be absolutely exceptional for both Saints offensive line room and Alvin Kamara, as both would see huge schematic improvements to really drawing the best out of them, which is what we're looking for. Like that's the biggest part, like getting the offensive line together. We need to be able to run the football and protect the quarterback. Right now, I'm shaky on that line, man. I like Tali Fuaga a lot. The left guard, they need a left guard there. The center position, you need a really good backup for McCoy because I think he's breaking down. We've seen the last couple of years of McCoy just getting hurt, missing a lot of time. I still would challenge anybody to explain to me how McCoy got a Pro Bowl bid. He missed 10 games, and the only really 2 games he dominated in was weeks 1 and weeks 2. The rest of them games, he still didn't look 100% in. I challenge you to prove why he should be in a Pro Bowl. And then again, the Pro Bowl is just a show. It ain't what it used to be anyway, so whatever, right? But we need a serious backup for that because the Saints really, pooped the bed, so to speak, with that whole situation. We're not having a true backup quarterback because I still don't understand how that went. When he got hurt, they had to shift the line, and I'm like, what's going on here? Where's the true backup center? They didn't have one. They didn't have a true back, and that's a prepared team. So McCoy is breaking down. You need a really good backup, or maybe a draft pick there, or somebody there that can pick up and have him to just step in there when anybody gets hurt. And that's not just for McCoy; that's every one of these players. They need to be up to speed and ready to go. The right guard position with Ruiz is, I don't think he improves anymore. Maybe somebody can get a little bit more out of him. A new offensive line coach make him get up off his ass and work harder. I don't know. And then the right tackle position with Trevor Penning. Somebody got to teach Trevor. He's his position. I mean, his technique is flawed. He's up too high. Guys walking back like the vending machine that he is. So I mean, things have to change from an offensive line standpoint, and the backups are garbage. So I mean, that's definitely a point of emphasis in the place that we really need to fix. To be honest with you, and like I said, these are shout out to the writer, man. This is some really good calls right here. Listen, these are really solid potential coaches if Kellen Moore is the guy. Especially talk about Staley, Nussmeier. These are real good calls right here. You know, to bring in here for Kellen Moore. These are real good calls. Really good calls. All right. Anyway, let's jump to this one. And this is another article right here. Report Darren Rizzi likely to become Broncos special teams coach amid Kellen Moore rumors. We know Coach Payton put his special teams coach in the street, or he left rather. But he could be going back with Sean Payton. Well, that don't surprise me because Pete Carmichael's up there, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So why not? Rizzi's likely to be hired by the Broncos' new special teams coordinator under Sean Payton. That's Ian Rappaport saying that. Rizzi previously spent 3 seasons working as Payton special teams coordinator from 2019 to 21. The news of Rizzi's potential departure follows an early report by NFL Network's Tom Pelissero that the Saints are targeting Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore as the coach. The Saints would need to wait until after the Eagles play in the Super Bowl February 9th to officially speak with Moore again. But all indications are pointing toward Moore being next in line, right, for the job. But he says Mickey Pelissero wrote that Saints general manager Slick Mickey Loomis informed other candidates Friday morning about the plan to speak with Moore, and Moore is already working on staff. So there you go. Rizzi's tenure as a Saints head coach could throw an end after 8 games. So there you go. Rizzi's tenure as a Saints head coach could now end after 8 games. Task with taking over the following midseason firing of Dennis Allen. Rizzi and the Saints went 3-5, an improvement over the team's 2-7 start of the campaign. Both garbage. It didn't work. Rizzi was also involved in designating NFL new dynamic rule kickoff. Congratulations on that. Rizzi reportedly received some buzz regarding a permanent head coaching job after the season when he interviewed with the Jets, who ultimately turned to. We knew it would be difficult for Coach Rizzi to receive a head coaching job because he simply. You had an opportunity and it didn't look good, and a lot of it was the fact that he didn't have any accountability. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the only guys he bitches and complains at is the poor punter and some special teams guys. But when I've seen guys miss blocks, drop passes, and all this other stuff, he don't tell them nothing. How does that work? You gotta do. You got smoke. You have smoke for everybody. That's how it usually works, right? If you got smoke for every damn body. And Coach Rizzi didn't have smoke for everybody. And you can't head coach in any consistent level that way. It's just not going to work. All right, Chantel, shout out to you. Says Q, if Kellen Moore is coach, who will be QB in 2025? That is a great question. And the reality is that is yet to be determined. But hopefully it's not Derek Carr. Kellen Moore understands that because, like they saying, there was some friction, a little scuttlebutt, as she calls it, but some would say a better word would be friction about who's the guy. And it's not just that; it's the money, the $50 million under in the red. It's the quarterback, quarterback. It's a lot of other stuff too, but those are the top things that you have to start with. So I don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Chantel, I appreciate you for the super chat, but there are options. If you can get them traded, get them on up out of here. There are other guys maybe you bring in, but the money's an asset. It's a bunch of stuff. It's not like we can, it's a bunch of stuff. They really screwed up when they paid for Derek Carr because they could not afford Derek Carr. And that is the truth. When they signed him to that contract, we said, it's like, man, we can't afford this guy. Mickey Loomis didn't want to hear none of it because nobody punishes Mickey Loomis for the dumb stuff that he does. And he did it and doesn't want to take any blame for why the guy has 1 win over 500. And I'm not putting it all on Derek Carr, but obviously he's not the answer, family. We can see that, can't we? He's not the answer. The only way you have success with Derek Carr is you have to have a strong running game. It's a very simple. Derek Carr might have been a lot of things prior to him getting to New Orleans for the Raider Nation. But since he's been down here in New Orleans in the last couple of years, all Derek Carr is a play action quarterback. That's all he really does consistently well at, which means you have to have a strong running game to put him into the play action. That's what it is. That's the only way you win with Derek Carr. You can't put him out there and have him to read defenses because he's not disciplined enough. He'll end up getting stuck on either the left side of the field or the right side of the field. It's too much tape to prove that he gets stuck. He gets stuck all the time. That's why the safeties could be able to see where he's looking at, because he's throwing the ball wherever he's looking at. They know to follow his eyes to the ball, and he don't even pump fake most of the time. Just throw that little part in your game, please. The dude always staring people down. He gets stuck here, he gets stuck there. And it's like, that's a problem, because you're not supposed to be a quarterback and call yourself a starter making that kind of money in the NFL, and you doing stuff that college quarterbacks know not to do. You know, how do you, if you want to throw to the left side of the field, at least turn and pump fake to the right before you go left. If you know you won't go to that wide receiver over there, at least pump fake to the opposite side to freeze the safeties, then throw to where you want to go. You know, no. So, I mean, yeah, he's not, no. The only way that I've seen from Derek Carr to win is you have to have a brutal, strong running attack to get into the play action. He can do that. But sitting there telling him to read defenses and all that, man, that dude ain't going to be able to do that. Because then he doesn't have the mental clock, like the clock like quarterbacks have to understand what they got to do. I got a certain amount of time with the ball before, and I don't see what I got if I don't go to my check down. And he got a pair of wheels, take off, be more decisive. He doesn't do that. And plus he's I ain't gonna say he's scary, but he's a deer with the headlights on him. And he really is. Guy get within 5 feet of him, or 5 to 8 feet of him, he's terrified. He gets broken all to hell. I mean, we've seen, like in the Chiefs game, the guy wasn't even close. He was like 5 to 7 feet away, and he threw the ball up for an interception. He's told him, I was trying to throw it out of bounds. You can't, no. And Kellen Moore, like, man, in order for me to change Derek Carr, I have to break 12 years of bad habits. Man, screw all of that. No, you just go find you a quarterback that don't have those bad habits, and you work with him, whether that's through trade or through free agency, which it complicates everything because the Saints don't have the money. They're $50 million in the red. How do we do anything? So that's why a lot of people anticipate the Saints not getting away from Derek Carr, because of the complexities of moving him out. And there were rumors saying that the Giants were interested, maybe if they are, man, I offload that quick. I get rid of him quick if that's the truth, because you got to free this up some kind of way. Some of these guys got to go. These older players, they have to go. We got to free up money for the future of the team. It'll help us get to where we need to be faster. If we get rid of some of these old players, keeping these old players around don't help us if they're not helping us win, so I'm for getting rid of all of these guys. I'm sorry. I like these guys, but if y'all not winning, y'all unjustified y'all failure. And the reason why when y'all started losing and we became a 5, and we kept, because they went 7-9, then they went 9-7, and now the bottom fell out. They went 5-12. So you're obviously getting older and older. You're the NFL's worst team. So it's time to go. When you went 5-12, you done signed your pink slips. Oh no, this is the NFL. We need to stay cutting edge, and we need to stay innovative. And keeping an old ass team at 5-12 is not going to cut it. So I hope I gave you some answers, Shante. I hope I gave you something, man. That was a lot, but it's a lot going on. So I'll try to quantify it for you. So thank you for that. Appreciate you.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to me. Stay cool, nobody gets hurt. Take the money out, all of it. Come on. Wasting my time now, come on.
Now, this is the whole thing dealing with the rest of the Rizzy situation is the Broncos fired their special teams coordinator. Uh, Sean Payton put Legwold, who's a high profile special team miscues, had a bunch of those, including a blocked field goal in week 2. So Coach Payton's basically getting rid of him as well. And then that's following Mike Westhoff. That's one of Sean Payton's favorite coaches, too, an older guy due to health issues. He was too old, he couldn't do it anymore. So Rizzy makes sense because of his connection with time with with Sean Payton, and it makes sense for him to do that because reality the Jets did interview him, but we knew Aaron Glenn at the onset of the process was obviously the favorite guy to go there. The reality is Saints could have had Glenn, but like I said, man, it takes vision. Some of this stuff takes vision. So Coach Rizzy did what he can. He'll go back to being a special teams coach with the Denver, with being a special team coach in the NFL, which he'll have a job, have a familiar job with Sean Payton. He'll do a job there because that's what he does really good. He's a good special teams coach and nothing else. All right. So anyway, that's some of the stuff right there for the fam, man. Listen, big ups to you guys. Appreciate you being on the stream. If y'all got some questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Please appreciate you guys for being in here. Much love. Shout out to you. I see you, Mad Drummer. Big ups to you, brother. As well, y'all do me a service and smash on that like button. If you please, smash on the like button and the share button. If you're not a sub up. Hit the sub button right here. All right, what's up, Tired Eye? Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you. As well, H-Town Creole in this thing. Much love, man. As well, yeah, Vic Fangio. I got you, Scoop. Shout out to y'all. All right, anyway, Scoop says, with so many needs, best player available is the best route of the rise we will reach to satisfy holes. Yeah, that's a good point. So whoever falls to you first is who you take. And you're in the top 9 position. So it could be somebody out there. It could be, there could be like I said, man, some that you're gonna have some good players there. You're gonna have some good players that'll fall to you at number 9. It'll be you're gonna get a top 2 tackle. One of them are gonna slide to you at 9. That tight end from Penn State, he could be there. But there are a bunch of really good tight ends, man, that I like too. That should be there in the second round. One in particular led college in catches. It was very phenomenal. All right, so yeah, we'll see as well. But yeah, that's cool. Bad Drummer says, who do y'all think would be a good forward defense? Yeah, we just covered that on article. It might be Deuce Staley. We'll see. Deuce Staley did give him a job in Charger land. And now him getting a job, he gonna give Staley a job. You see how one hand washes the other? Yeah, this is some real stuff here, right? Deuce Staley giving Kellen Moore a job in charge of making him the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. And then when Staley gets fired, I think that same year, he gets a job somewhere else. And then now you have Kellen Moore getting a job with the Saints, and Kellen Moore would then turn around and give Deuce Staley a job. Yeah, isn't friendship kind? Isn't that fair? All right, yeah. Mount Dog says Danny Abramowitz came back as the offense coordinator, being drafted and playing with the Saints. How that work out? Yeah, hey, bro, that didn't work out too well. JT, shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you, man, for being here as well. All right, Jason says let got popped with 400 pounds of what? Oh, back in the day, yeah. But hey, man, that's small stuff compared to what the hell the Cowboys are really doing. You remember with Michael Irvin? What's up, Cowboy Nation? That guy there. Remember all the stuff him and what's his name? The offensive lineman got caught. Well, y'all remember all that stuff? Man, that's light work compared to what they was doing. Hemisphere KQ Triplet said they may keep Carr for 2025 because they wouldn't have any money to sign anybody. Yeah, I mean, the restructure from a year ago, fam, pretty much tied him here. Now, if there was a push by Kellen Moore to be like, what are the options? If somebody want to take him, I can understand that. But when you restructure him, that ties him to the next year, to this year. Just like if you were restructuring him this year, that would tie him to you in 2026. You don't want that. We could not afford the car, and it was a high car payment, and Mickey Loomis just paid it. and nobody fussed at him except for me. Nobody cussed at him except for me. You know, I was, well, y'all too. Y'all was with me while I was cussing. Somebody got to cuss and fuss. Hell, these people don't know. None of them take no responsibility for nothing. We don't just get here. We don't just appear out of blue here. Or the Saints just popped up at 5-12. The salary cap is in literally in hell, below hell, the subterranean levels of hell. They ain't even where the fire is. They're in that. They're not in hell where the fire is. They're in hell where the ice is. That's how. they're in subterranean hell. That's what the Saints are. There ain't been a salary cap hell that the Saints ain't made to go. I mean, if anybody has been to the depths of hell, it's the Saints. You know, it's the Saints, man. The depths of hell has been the Saints. That's what there has not been a team that's been in more and further in the subterranean levels of salary cap hell than the New Orleans Saints. And the crazy part about it is, just like I said a couple years ago, they won $100 million there, kicking the can the whole way. That man kicked that shit the whole way. And then when it finally Roots comes back to look, he don't take no responsibility for nothing. So I mean, how does that work? How some bitch can do all of this stuff and nobody points at him and blows him up? Well, I'll be tearing his ass up. You know, but he deserves that. You don't let these guys make it, man. They won't let you make it. You have to be able to chastise these people because these people are not handling the business correctly. Timer says Mickey just be spinning the fan base. He thinks his words will sell us tickets. He doesn't think we have eyes to see the production on the field. So selling us tickets through words, delusion. Yeah, he just don't give a damn. Overly paid. He don't care. He doesn't care. That's the whole point. That's why a guy operate this way. He don't care. And Gail doesn't care either. We forced her to fire Dennis Allen, but that was obvious. The guy's lost 7 games in a row. I mean, no coach is going to survive that. You have to fire the guy if you want to save the season. You know, she forced him to fire the guy. He's sitting up there saying, no, don't do it. Injuries. And then the press conference at the end of the year, what did he tell you? People don't want to hear this, but it was the injuries. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the injuries that killed the Saints season. It was stupidity. It was bad coaching. It was non-accountability. Coaches wasn't making these players execute properly. The team was unprepared. You're supposed to have these backups ready to play, especially if they're offensive linemen. We've seen teams throughout the years win games with their backups. What makes us any different? What makes us any different is how good are the coaches in getting everybody prepared, not just the damn starters. So it wasn't exclusively injuries, but that's what they do because they don't believe in no accountability. They don't believe in none of that. They really don't. Thank you, Timer. Cartel says exactly. That's why I don't understand why people wonder whether or not Kellen can control the room. As previous QB, you have to have the ability to command both the locker room and the huddle. That's the thing. The Saints have listen, fam, they have talent, but you don't just win 5 games. You don't lose 12 games on purpose. It's a lot of stuff goes wrong for you to be a 12-loss team. A lot of not giving a damn, a lot of not executing, a lot of delusion. It's not just Mickey Loomis that's delusion in the same building. It started with Gail Benson. She don't know anything about that. She don't know nothing about the Saints. She don't know nothing about the Pelicans. She was gifted the team by Tom Benson. He passed away and gave it to her. And she left whatever little workings in there. She didn't learn anything more than, which if you're going to be an owner of this stuff, start studying some stuff. Stay away from them charities for a while and start hiring some people to look at these teams and get an outside perspective about these ball clubs. And when I say ball club, I'm talking about the Saints and the Pelicans because she owned both of them. Get some outside people. Stop listening to these people in the building because all they doing is collecting checks because they damn sure ain't winning. You know, they're not doing anything. The Pelicans are a joke. Pelicans won 12 games, fam. We in February. The Pelicans won 12 games. 12 games. They still didn't fire their coach. The guy's still there, still losing. They blame it on injuries. I see you got injuries and DeJounte Murray hurt. I'm like, injuries are a part of the game. It happens, man. It happens. But if you having all these injuries, you might want to shift focus on freeing up in money with Ashna Hospital for the last several years, and the injuries are not getting any better. They're not serious about nothing. Commonsensically, come on. They're not serious. This is stuff. This is true talk. How are all of these injuries that they always famously, like I show you the picture of Mickey Loomis standing up there in front of the Ashna Health banner symbol with Saint symbols on it, saying that the injuries is why we fail, and Ashna behind them, and they the ones handle a lot of that. And you know something, we got to study it. We got to figure out what's going on here. This is crazy. And I'm like, turn around, dumbass. Look at who's on that banner there. Change all of that. Their sports medicine side ain't all that, obviously, if it's happening to the Saints and Pelicans. Turn around and look at the banner. We got to get to the bottom of it. Blind as a bat and don't care. So you expecting Kellen Moore to turn all this around? Kellen Moore has his hands full with the Saints. I'm going to just be honest with you, because Mickey Loomis doesn't know what he's doing. Gail Benson is even blinder than he is, and Dennis Lauscher is even blinder than them. What you trying to do here? Like, yeah, whatever you want to do, we'll do. Even lie to protect you. So I don't know what if Kellen Moore is going to be the man, bro. If you brave enough to come here and fix all this funk, because a lot of these players done lost their way. All this smiling going on, fam. Like I said before, I'm tired of these people smiling in a 12 loss season, man. What are you smiling for? Making Loomis cheesing up all that. Shut up, Loomis. We don't need to see all this smiling. Y'all losers. How you got all this? Because they cool with that. They cool. If you a winner, man, losing and you got a losing situation, you ain't gonna be in no celebratory mode or smiling and all this shit, and you sit up here stanking at 12 losses, man. Man. I don't even want you around my team. I want you up out of here. I want people that's pissed off and won't do something about it. That's what I want. I want people to feel what you feel, because you are pissed off. And what you feel is what they supposed to feel. Don't you get that? You're upset. They supposed to be upset because they failed you. I didn't fail the Saints. They failed me. They failed me with this bull crap out here. Emma says, Q. Triplet said they may keep call. Yeah, I read that one. Thank you, bro. Jack says Mickey runs the Saints like the government, thinking he could just print money. Mickey Loomis is out of his mind with no accountability. Mine says let Dennis Allen choose his quarterback twice. He just struck out on Winston, but got Carr, so Mickey will let Moore pick his quarterback. That's on the coach. How he's going to pick the quarterback? Can't pick his quarterback the first year. He's stuck with the guy. That's why a lot of people don't want to coach for the Saints. It's like I said, it's a painted picture already. They bring you in, here you go. Could you fix this? I'm gonna fix somebody else's stuff. It's not a blank canvas. You come up here. It's not a blank canvas. You got to go over somebody else's work. You can't even come in here. It's not a blank canvas. That's what it's going to make it difficult. You got to deconstruct this team. It's a 5-12 team. You got to destruct them. You got to break them down, trade these guys, do whatever you got to do to free up the money. It shouldn't be trying to take these guys, these old players it's time to begin again, man. If it's going to be that type of situation, get these old players out of here, man. Get them on out of here. Lewis says the way the Saints operate, there's a strong chance they're going to try to draft Nuss or Arch next year. Hemisphere also says if it was me, I'd start Carr, then end up benching him for Rattler. He definitely at some point man. I just hope that let's just get focus on the realistic thing is like the running attack. Let's just get our running attack. Jack says we need to hit the offensive line and defensive line hard in the draft. We got to get them trenches back in our favor. You're right, Jack. The trenches are bad and the stakes are high. Yeah, I said that. The Saints offensive line is not nearly as good as what we think. If you look at the Saints offensive line outside the first 2 games, they've been suspect the entire season. And it was more than issues with injuries. A lot of them guys just, when they were found out, it was over fast. But yes, indeed, we definitely need to do that. We need to strengthen the interior offensive line. They got guys dropping. That's what I was saying about the offensive linemen and the defense too. You need a nose tackle. You need a nose tackle next to Brian Bresee. Bink Saunders and Nate Shepard, they ain't cutting the mustard, fam. They're not cutting the mustard. Nate Shepard is a reserve. Brian Brissett needs to be there, and they need to find a nose tackle to go next to him. The Saints allow people to run on them too much, man. It's time to stop that. The Saints' offensive interior lines and defensive interior lines need to be fixed. We need, trench warfare, fam. You're absolutely right. We definitely need to do that. All right, what's up, brother? This Revolt, what's happening, bro? You said that wasn't Leon Let. For what you talking about? With the Leon Let It Be? All right, Jack says, what do you think about Savion? I like Savion Williams, bro. I like Savion Williams a lot. I think Savion, we did the breakdown in the Patreon on that for our YouTube members and Patreon family. We did the wide receiver breakdown. Savion Williams is awesome, man. Say he's awesome. I know my dog KT likes him a lot too. Yeah. Yeah. Gregory said, what's up, brother Greg? He says, Q, you have to look.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, look past the results. Hold on, hold on now. Let me show y'all something, man. I seen something on Twitter. Somebody put a little montage together of Mickey Loomis making fun of some of the stuff that he was saying, because he said that look behind the crap, right? Let me see if I can find this, man. Cause somebody put it out there, man, and it was funny how they did it. So I had to give them some props on that, man. They did like a little montage of Mickey Loomis, his salary cap stuff, what he was saying, and of the last press conference when he said the adverse to you got to look past the results, that kind of stuff, and then he doubled back and said, that I was like, Mickey Loomis is so full of it, man. He's so full of it, man. Let me see if I can find. I probably ain't gonna be able to find. Yeah. Hold on. I probably ain't gonna find it, man. Yeah, but it was something where he was. It's just crazy, man. With Mickey Loomis, man, the crap that comes out of Mickey Loomis's mouth is out of worldly, man. Somebody put a collage of him making it. It was funny how they did it, because they were saying you got to look behind the results. But the last press conference he did that, and he kind of he put his foot in his mouth, and then he had to double back and correct what he was saying. About you got to look beyond the results, man. What are you talking about? The team is a 5-win team, a 12-loss team. And he said, DeMario came out and said they're not going to panic with 2 games left to go in the regular season. Like, what do you see? I say, y'all have lost y'all way. Y'all been hanging around losers so damn much that y'all became the losers. They don't get it, man. They think they think you are tripping by telling them that, hey, man, y'all stink, y'all losers. And being a supporter doesn't mean, listen, if you're losing, right, fam, listen, if you're losing, but you're fighting and the other team just wants it more, we'll accept that. We'll accept that. But what we will not accept is when you're not prepared to play, when you're making excuses, and we can tell the difference. We can tell the difference when you're prepared to play, when you're doing the right things, when you're executing. We can see the difference. We watch enough games to know, the difference in what's going on with this team. So we're not going to sit there. We're not going to sit there and just be like, oh, you just listen to what the F you say all the time, man, without challenging you on that. And that's what they want you to do. They want you. These people just hey, man, these people are crazy, man. What can I tell y'all? It's sad and it's crazy at the same time. But they don't do nothing about Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis can smile. He can tell the team up. He can lie. He can do all this. But it's just they don't do nothing about it. They don't do a damn thing about it. It cracks me up because it's crazy. Yet he gets away with it. Anyway, I was trying to look for this little piece, man. But yeah, look past the results. You gotta hold on now. You gotta look past the results there, Gregory. You gotta look past it. Yeah, hold on. I told these guys, I said, hold on. I said, listen, Dennis Allen, and he went through his little spiel and all that. I don't apologize to anything. Dennis Allen is a great coach. And he got fired. He was fired. Dennis Allen got fired because he was a bad coach. He was a bad coach. What are we talking about? But Dennis Allen did tell y'all. What did Dennis Allen say? I didn't fail. He says, I didn't. What was the term? I forgot what it was, man. But it's crazy. These people crazy. They crazy. But anyway, man, look at man. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the building, man. Yeah, Dennis Allen. What did Dennis Allen say? What was it? What did he say? I didn't fail because he says, "Oh, how did he word it? I didn't." He says, "I don't look at it as I failed. I look at it as they didn't want me anymore." Like what?
What?
Oh, like what? No, yeah, no. What? But these are insane people. They crazy. What can I tell you? All right, Scoop said that's why we need Jeff Stoutland. He's the best in the business. I don't know if they will cut him loose, bro. I don't think Stoutland unless they overpay him. I don't know. J Rock says, Q, I keep hearing about Kafka. What happened to Anthony Weaver and why he's not on the list anymore? Yeah, Kafka was talking about, wanting a job, but it kind of appears the Saints have a leanings. They want an offensive minded coach. And they were looking strong at Kafka, and now Kellen Moore is the guy. So I think the Saints were looking more for an offensive minded coach in which they got. And sometimes you got to satisfy the Rooney rule. So, does Weaver come back in a defensive capacity? I mean, they sat there and met with Mike Kafka. They gave Kafka the 8-hour, 9-hour treatment. They listened to Kafka. So, we'll see how it all goes, fam. We'll see how it ends at the end of the day. But yeah, I think they were looking more offensive than anything. Greg says, hold on now, like you. None of these guys are qualified to tell me a damn thing. He said that too. That's right. He said that too. That's how the man speaks. I told y'all about Mickey Loomis. Y'all know. He said that. He said a lot of stuff. Cartel said he just wanted to go in another direction. Big Valley says, I don't think I didn't fail. They just didn't want me. Yeah, he said that. He said he told Jay Glazer that. He said, I didn't. He says, I don't look at it as I failed. He says, I don't see it as I failed. I just see it as they wanted somebody else, some rhetoric like that. I'm like, dude, no. Bullet Family Travel Vlog, shout out to you. Q, Mickey said it was a organization decision to fire DA. And I'm a part of the organization. It was Gail. It was Gail that fired that guy, right? Cartel says he didn't fail. They just wanted to go in a different, then that's fine. Yeah. And that's fine. That's exactly what he said there. But yeah, I didn't fail, but I can't get another job as a head coach yet. But I'm a defensive coordinator. So I got back. So I'm back in the league now as a defensive coordinator. Now, the crazy part is you might want to check and see if he is the assistant head coach. Hey, he was the first. Wasn't he the first coach that your boy Johnson hired up there? Is Dennis Allen the assistant coach of the Chicago Bulls? I mean Bears. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me see. What was Dennis? Do he has, and they're probably not going to tell you that right now, but does he have the assistant head coach title attached to his name? They show pictures of him. He got a shirt and everything with Chicago on there. Hold on. Let me look at the website here. Give me a second, fam. Let me see if he got hired as the assistant head coach. They had a bunch of people in the organization at the top. They look a lot different than the Saints. Coaches. Let me see. They got Declan Doyle, who used to be down here with the Saints. He their offensive coordinator, so that's the Sean Payton tree. Who's the assistant head coach? They're not telling us. I only look at the Dennis Allen's profile here. They don't say. They don't say that's what he's doing right now. They ain't saying nothing now, right? They ain't saying that he's the assistant coach. Yeah, we'll see. We'll learn. We'll learn sooner or later to get down there. If he's the assistant head coach there, you better watch your ass if he is. All right, all right. Shout out to the fam, man. LM says Anthony Randall L is the assistant head coach. Okay, cool. All right, all right. Okay, Randall L is the assistant head coach. Okay, what is he? Head coach of the Bears, Randall L. I didn't even see him up there, listed up there in any capacity. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I don't even see him up there. Yeah, they hadn't updated it yet, bro. Yeah, I don't even see him up there. I guess they ain't updated already, but all right. But anyway, man, yeah, this is interesting, man. But anyway, fam, listen, I'm gonna get ready to cut out on that. Listen, I appreciate all you guys for chiming in, man. Listen, man, I just wanted to talk at you guys early Saturday morning, man. And we do our thing here, man. All right. Adrian what's up, Langley? He says, keep pounding, baby. PNP says you're welcome again. All right. Well, yeah, y'all got y'all got him out of here for us, man. Appreciate you there, Mr. Lampley, and for helping us out with that, man. Yeah, I mean, we did the Atlanta Falcons a favor the year before when we got Smith out of there, Arthur Smith out of there. And then Carolina helped us out by putting Dennis Allen on the street. We thank you for that. We appreciate you for that. Oh, yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys for helping us out. All right. All right. Listen, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all, man. We'll get ready to get out. Y'all do me a service. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Also, shout out to our illustrious sponsors, man. Mint Mobile. If you need some good discount on it, you know, with all the stuff is getting high and all the craziness that's going on right now in the world, man, best you can do is save some money for potential calamities or whatever's happening, man. Make sure you guys got extra food and your generators and everything, man, because some weird stuff going on this year. Be prepared. Mint Mobile can save you some money on that cell phone, and that money could go back to your household for household needs or whatever you guys got to do. Teach Henley for the guys. Bet online as well. We got a new sponsor, Nature Way. They'll be sponsoring the platform as well. We continue to grow, and we appreciate you. So if you guys want to help out our sponsors that help us out, please go to the description section. The link is in the description section below with all of that stuff, and also deals and discounts on service and items are provided. So with that being said, we're going to get out on that, man. I shall return later on in the week, and you guys make sure y'all have a fantastic start of y'all weekend, man. Much love. Who Dat?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Bet online. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online. The game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat.